Before August ends, the sky creates a sequence that will not happen again for nearly 8 years, and it unfolds in 2 stages. First, something you have been avoiding may become impossible not to see. Then, less than 24 hours later, a second event opens a brief window to finally release it. Most people will experience these days without realizing that the order is the message. First, the truth appears. Then, the door closes. This happens on August 27th and 28th. And once you understand what these 2 days place in front of you, you may already know exactly which part of your life this is about. Because that is how this kind of thing works. It does not arrive as a stranger. It arrives as something you already half know, stepping out of the fog you have been using to keep it blurry. So for the next few minutes, I am not going to ask you to believe anything. I am only going to describe what these 2 days set in front of you, and let you notice, quietly, whether something in you already recognizes it. By the end, you will understand what the first day is likely to show you, what the second day is asking you to release, and why doing it now matters more than it will for a long time. Let's begin with the part most people skip because it is uncomfortable. There is one thing you already know and have been avoiding knowing for a long time. You do not need me to tell you what it is. The moment I say it, it probably already surfaced in you, the thing you thought of instantly and then pushed back down. That is the thing. That is what these 2 days are about. Because here is what avoidance actually is. It is not the absence of knowing, it is the presence of knowing, plus a refusal to look at it directly. You already know the truth about that situation. You already know whether that hope is still alive, or whether you are keeping its shell out of fear. You already know where you have been abandoning yourself, and you already know the honest thing you have been not saying, to someone else or to yourself. The knowing is already in you. It has been for a while. What you have been doing is keeping just enough fog around it that it stays blurry, because as long as it is blurry, you do not have to do anything about it. And on August 27th, that fog is going to thin, whether you are ready or not. So the first thing to understand is simple. This is not about receiving new information. It is about finally admitting something you already carry. And notice how the mind fights this right now, even as I say it. Part of you is already generating reasons why it does not apply to you, why your situation is different, why the thing that surfaced a moment ago is not really the thing. That reflex, the speed of it, is itself information. We do not rush to explain away things that do not matter to us. The harder your mind is working right now to convince you there is nothing you are avoiding, the more likely it is that there is, and that some part of you just felt it get close. You do not have to argue with that reflex. Just notice it. Notice that a question you supposedly have no answer to produced an answer instantly, followed by a wave of reasons to dismiss it. That sequence, instant answer then quick dismissal, is the exact shape of avoidance, and catching it once is the beginning of these 2 days doing their work. Now, why do we do this? Why does a person keep a truth blurry for months, even years, when some part of them already knows it? Because the fog is protective, and it is worth being honest about that instead of ashamed of it. The comfortable story protected you when the truth would have been too much to hold. Maybe you were not ready. Maybe facing it would have required a change you could not make yet, or a loss you were not strong enough to survive at the time. So a part of you, wisely, kept it soft, kept it at arm's length, let it stay a little out of focus so you could keep functioning, keep going, keep your life intact while you gathered the strength you did not have yet. That is not weakness. That is how human beings survive things that arrive before we are ready for them. So as we go into these 2 days, do not turn this into another reason to be hard on yourself for not having faced it sooner. You faced it exactly when you could. But here is what may have changed, quietly, without you noticing. You may be stronger now than you were when you first started hiding this from yourself. The fog that was once protection may now just be habit. And these 2 days are offering to help you check whether you still need it. Here is something that will make sense of why this is difficult, even when part of you wants clarity. The truth rarely arrives dramatically. That is the thing almost nobody expects. People imagine that when a real realization comes, it will feel like lightning, undeniable, impossible to miss. And so they wait for the dramatic version, and they dismiss the quiet one. But that is not how it works. The truth usually appears as one quiet realization that is very easy to dismiss. It is a small thought that crosses your mind while you are doing something else. A feeling that surfaces for a second and then gets talked over. A moment of knowing so brief and so undramatic that you file it under nothing and move on. That is exactly why these things stay buried for years. Not because they never surface, but because when they surface, they do it so quietly that dismissing them takes no effort at all. So in the days around August 27th, the work is not to wait for a thunderclap. The work is the opposite. It is to catch the quiet one. To notice the small realization you would normally wave away, and to stay with it for one moment longer than usual, instead of letting it dissolve. Because that quiet, easily dismissed thought is very often the whole thing. The truth does not shout. It waits to see if you are paying attention, and it tends to arrive in a few recognizable disguises, so it helps to know them. Sometimes it comes as a small flash of relief when you imagine a situation ending, relief you immediately feel guilty about and push away, because the relief is telling you something you did not want to know. Sometimes it comes as a flash of dread at the thought of continuing something, a heaviness that appears the instant you picture more of the same. Sometimes it comes as a sentence that forms fully in your mind, uninvited, in the shower or on a walk. A sentence so clear and so unwelcome that you change the subject in your own head before you finish it. Each of these is the quiet truth surfacing, and each one is easy to dismiss precisely because it is brief and does not come with proof. So, in these days, treat those small moments as more important than they feel. The flash of relief, the flash of dread, the unwelcome sentence you keep interrupting. Do not demand that they justify themselves with evidence before you take them seriously. They are the evidence. They are the quiet knocking of something that has been waiting a long time for you to open the door. Let me be clear about why these particular days carry weight, because it is not a phrase for effect, it is the actual timing of the sky. Eclipses move through the signs in cycles, in pairs of opposite signs that stay active for about 18 months before moving on. This cycle has been carrying its eclipses through the axis that runs between Pisces and Virgo, the axis of illusion and clarity, of the fog and the daylight that cuts through it. And August 28th is the last eclipse on this axis in Pisces before the cycle moves on. After this, it does not return to bring an eclipse here again until 2034. That is nearly 8 years. So whatever this window is especially good at helping you release, the specific fog, the specific truth you have been keeping blurry, this is the concentrated moment for it. It does not mean you can never work on these things again. Of course you can. But there is a difference between working uphill alone and working with a rare tailwind. And these 2 days are the tailwind. For this brief window, everything is arranged to help you see through fog and release what is not real. That kind of alignment does not come back around for the better part of a decade, which is why these days deserve more of your attention than an ordinary week. So the truth surfaces. What then? This is where most people go wrong, and it matters because the difference between responding and reacting decides whether these 2 days help you or just unsettle you. When a truth you have been avoiding finally comes into focus, the first instinct is usually to react, and to react fast, to fix it immediately, to make a dramatic decision the same day, to send the message, end the thing, blow it all up, right now, while the clarity is hot, before you lose your nerve. But a truth seen for the first time is young, and young things break when you force them. You do not have to do anything drastic in these 48 hours. Seeing clearly is not the same as acting rashly. This window does not ask you to overturn your life overnight. It asks you to stop pretending you do not see what you see. Those are completely different things. So when the clarity comes, resist the urge to immediately resolve it. Let it be true first. Sit with it. Let yourself fully admit it before you decide what, if anything, to do about it. The release this window offers is not a violent tearing away. Often, it is quieter than that. It is simply the moment you stop spending energy keeping the truth blurry. That alone changes things, even before you have taken a single outward action. Respond to what you see with honesty. You do not have to react to it with haste. Let me slow down for a moment before the most important part, because it needs some stillness around it. Everything about these 2 days can sound urgent, even a little frightening. The countdown, the 8 years, the closing door. But underneath the urgency, the actual invitation is gentle. This is not here to punish you for the fog you have been living in. Almost everyone lives in some fog. It is how we survive things that are too much to face all at once, and there is no shame in having needed it. The comforting story kept you standing. The blurred truth bought you time you genuinely needed. None of it was a failure. It was a way through. So as you approach these days, do not make this one more thing to judge yourself for. The point is not to condemn the fog. It is simply that you may no longer need it, and this rare window is offering to help you set it down, gently, while it is open. And now, held in that, here is the part that matters most. Here is the center of everything, and it is the part almost nobody accounts for. Keeping a truth blurry is not free. It costs you, every single day, in a currency you stopped noticing you were spending. Because maintaining fog takes energy, keeping something at arm's length, not looking at it, managing your life around a thing you refuse to see directly. All of that takes constant, low-level effort, running quietly in the background from morning to night. And you have been paying it for so long that you no longer experience it as a cost. It just feels like being tired, like a heaviness you cannot quite explain, like carrying something whose weight you have stopped being able to locate. That is what unspoken truth does. It does not sit quietly and wait. It runs in the background and drains the battery, and you spend your days wondering why you are so tired when, on paper, nothing is that wrong. So here is what these 2 days actually offer you, and it is more practical than mystical. Not necessarily the resolution of the whole situation, something simpler first. The chance to stop paying the daily tax of pretending you do not know what you know. Because a truth you have finally admitted to yourself stops draining you, even before you have done anything about it. The moment you stop holding it blurry, the background effort ends, and the energy it was consuming comes back to you. So, say the true thing to yourself, once, plainly, in a quiet moment. You do not have to tell anyone else yet. You do not have to act on it yet. You only have to stop lying to yourself about it, and you would be surprised how much lighter a person becomes the instant they stop spending themselves on not knowing what they already know. Half of the exhaustion was never the situation. It was the machine you built to keep from looking at it. These 2 days are simply offering to help you turn it off. And notice, this is the one part of all of this that asks nothing of anyone but you. You cannot control whether the situation changes. You cannot control what another person does, or says, or admits. But this, the stopping of your own private pretending, is entirely within your power, available to you no matter what anyone else does. It requires no confrontation, no announcement, no permission. It happens in a single quiet moment, alone, when you let yourself finish the sentence you keep interrupting. That is why it is such a merciful place to begin. Everything else can stay exactly as it is, and you can still put down this one weight, today, without asking anyone. Notice the order these 2 days come in, because the order itself is the instruction. The clarity comes first, on the 27th. The release comes second, on the 28th, not the other way around. And that sequence is everything. Imagine if it were reversed, if you were asked to let something go before you could even see it clearly. That is how people lose things they did not mean to lose. They release in the fog, drift away from something without understanding it, and spend years afterward wondering what actually happened. But that is not the order here. Here, you are given the clear seeing first. The fog thins, and you finally make out the actual shape of what you have been avoiding. And only then, with your eyes open, are you invited to release it. Which means, whatever you let go of on purpose, with full sight, never by accident. You see the illusion clearly, and then you set it down deliberately. You see where you abandoned yourself, and then you choose, consciously, to return. That is the difference between something that happens to you and something you use. The seeing comes first, so that the letting go is a choice, not a drift. And so you never have to wonder later whether you released the wrong thing. Meet the first day awake, and the second day becomes a doorway instead of a loss. And let me take one fear off the table, because it stops people from letting anything go at all. Releasing something does not always mean losing it. This is where people freeze. They think that if they finally see the truth about a situation, they will be forced to end it, walk away, burn it down. And because they are not ready for that, they refuse to look at all. But that is not what release means here. Sometimes what you release is not the situation itself, but the illusion you were holding about it, the false story, the pretending. And once the pretending is gone, some situations actually get better, because for the first time you are dealing with what is real instead of managing a fantasy. Releasing the fog does not obligate you to release the thing. It only obligates you to stop lying to yourself about it, and then to choose freely, with clear eyes, what happens next. That choice might be to leave. It might just as easily be to stay, differently, honestly, without the fog. You are not being asked to lose anything except the effort of not seeing. What you do after you see clearly remains entirely yours. So let's bring it all together, because you now understand what most people moving through these days will not. On August 27th, a rare clarity thins the fog and shows you something you already half knew but have been avoiding. And on August 28th, a brief window opens to help you release exactly what that clarity revealed. And it does not come back around for nearly 8 years. First, you see. Then, you let go. And the whole window asks one quiet thing of you, that you not look away from the thing you already know. And let me be honest about the urgency, because I am not here to frighten you. Nothing terrible happens if you miss this. Life goes on, and you will have other chances to face these things. The sky is not threatening you. It is simply offering an unusually clear window. And windows like this are worth using while they are open. So do not spend these 2 days in the comfortable fog. Catch the quiet realization, the small one you would normally wave away. Say the true sentence to yourself, once, plainly, and let yourself stop paying the daily cost of not knowing what you know. If you have stayed with me all the way to the end of this, something in you already knows which truth this was about, because it surfaced the moment I mentioned it, and you are still here anyway. That tells me you are readier than you think to stop looking away. So be gentle with yourself in these days, but be honest too. The fog was never the enemy, and neither is the truth underneath it. You only have to stop spending yourself keeping them apart. See clearly, let go on purpose, and come out the other side of these 2 days carrying a little less than you carried in. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.